Hello lovely friends and family, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very well. Today I want to share with you this delicious okra stew. For this recipe I need you to pay attention to the little detail that will make your okra stew a bomb. So delicious you won't believe you made a stew. Okay, so yes, look at how slimy and delicious. Of course, slime queen, I'm here. I'm going to show you more. So let's get into it. So as always, the ingredients. So here I have some onions, ginger, garlic, and chilies that I've blended. Some onions, chilies, red chilies, chopped tomatoes, and some awam wele, and some Dawadawa, of course, don't miss that. And my spices, okay? So I also have shrimp and herrings powder. I have some mushrooms, and here is red snappers that I have grilled myself, okay? So I also have crabs and I have prawns, shrimps. Here's my beef that I've already steamed, okay? I've steamed and it's so good, right? I can't even resist it. I also have my spinach, okay? And then I have gardeners and aubergine. So these are in the same family. I have my okra and I've cut off all the head for ease of processing, okay? So my aubergine, I'm going to be slicing it. And aubergine, as I said earlier, is the senior brother, or you can call the younger brother of garden eggs, okay? So they are both eggplants, right? And they taste the same, and there's not much difference. This has less seeds, and the garden eggs, what you see over there, usually have lots of seeds, okay? So what I do is I try and cut them into 4, and then as you see me do here, I slice them and then I chop them into squares, okay? I like to add garden eggs to my okra stew because it gives it a very distinct taste, and that always reminds me of home because that is what my mom used to do, okay? Or that's how she cooked her okra stew, with a lot of garden eggs and okra. And also it makes your stew plenty. So for the garden eggs, I'll take one and I slice them into 4 and I slide it. I'm not going to cube them or dice them, okay? Just slice them so you see that they look straighter, like, longer, if I can say, than the first one. So for my okra, the reason I cut all the heads off like that and I arrange them the way you've seen me arrange it, all facing the same, so that it's easier for me. I just grab a handful and I put it together and I cut them in batches like that so that it goes quicker. That is if I'm not using my machine, okay? So that it goes quicker. For okra stew, I like okra stews like that. I like to cut it so that I have very big chunks of okra, right? But I also want okra soup with a lot of slime. So because of that, I'm going to cut some in very small sizes, okay? So I take one okra and I cut them like into 4 or 5 or 6, depending on how big it is. So as you see me do, that's how I cut it. I put them together and I finely chop them, okay? So very finely. When I finish, I will also go further and chop them, make sure that it's very small sizes, okay? So the smaller the sizes of your okra is, the slimier your okra will become, okay? So yes, and another way you can do it is you just chop them as you see me do, normal way of I've been chopping it earlier, and then you go into it and keep, sort of chopping further and until it becomes very small, like, the sizes that you require for your okra soup to be slimy. So like the one I did earlier that you can see on my right hand side, okay, or the right hand side of the chopping board. So once that is done, we just add it to our okra and then we'll finish up and then we'll move on to the next stage. So friends, if you're new here, welcome, and please consider subscribing to this channel because here is so much fun and it's going to get even better. So trust me, you need to subscribe and then turn on your notification to get all the videos. So at this point I had to change the saucepan to a bigger one, so I realized I had a lot of okra and garden egg. So we are going to be cooking it. So cooking it, I add some water and some of the blended onions, garlic, ginger, and chilies that we did earlier, and some bicarbonate of soda. You can add kanwo if you have that. I add some more water to cook it. Okay, so whilst that is cooking, we'll start making our stew. So in a saucepan, I've added some oil and I've added my onions. Okay, I'm adding my momoni paste. Okay, so I have I'll link the recipe for you. Okay, so I'm going to fry it for about 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so that's the momoni paste, right? And then I'll add my sliced or chopped chilies. Okay, these are fresh red chilies, and then I'll add my blended ginger, garlic, and that concoction we did earlier. Okay, so I'm going to cook it for a bit, and I'll add my dawadawa. Yeah, this is when you add your dawadawa so that you can get all the flavors. We're going for that umami, super umami taste. Okay, umami flavor. Our tomatoes goes in next, and please don't blend your tomatoes when you want your okra to be slimy. Don't blend it. Chop it, slice them, but don't blend them. Okay, so yeah, so I've chopped it and I'm going to cook it for a bit, and I'll start adding the rest. Okay, so what goes in next is my meat, and with all the stock it will cook and all the stock reduce. I've added my wele now. Okay, so it needs to cook wele. Well, you know, as we all know, it is hard, it takes long to cook, so add it in early so that it cooks nicely for you, giving it a very good taste. And it needs some salt. I've added more salt. Okay, I did that after I've added my stock, my beef, because it had salt in it. Okay, right, so my okra is cooking nicely, and that is it. Once it boils and for like 2-3 minutes, you turn off the heat. You don't want it to be all mushy, right? So I'm adding my spices, which is aniseed, cloves, and then calabash nutmeg, and then my fish powders. Okay, that is the shrimp and the herrings powder, and then my snappers goes in next. Okay, so it needs to also cook and absorb all that flavors in there, right, so that every bite of your okra stew is so delicious. Okay, I had some chili flakes sitting there, and I'm like, let me add it. More chili in your stew wouldn't kill you. Well, I didn't have much anyway, so okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's now time for my crabs to feature. Okay, so I've added my crabs. I'm going to stir it and make sure that it also goes into that sauce and it absorbs some of the flavor. Then we add the rest. Okay, and once I add my shrimps, and that is it, it's ready. Okay, so my mushrooms also goes in now, because it doesn't take long for mushrooms to cook, so you don't put them in early, otherwise you won't even see it cry. Just say disappear. So my shrimps goes in now, and then give it a little bit of stir, cover it for it to steam for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we add our okra, and our okra is done, or our okra is done. We hear okra nuguma penwenum abe. On the other side, the banku is cooking. I just wanted you to know that it's definitely going with banku. If in the agro crab. So here, yes, the okra is going in now. As soon as it goes in, I'll add my spinach. I'll give it a stir, and then I'll look for somewhere to perch and think about myself. I tell you, I have bread. I love it. Yeah. As I'm tasting the way I'm happy inside my heart. So the spinach goes in, and I'll give it a stir. Spinach the arenas are in the and so as soon as it goes in, the heat is off, then your stew is ready. So yeah, my lovely friends and family, this okra stew is so good. Just pay attention to all those little ingredients we've put in our stew. Okay, it all comes together to make the stew so delicious. You won't believe it. So, as I've always said before, okra stew is you make your stew, then you add your okra, and that is what you've done. This is no soup, and look at how it's going down. Thank you all for joining me today. God bless you as you keep on supporting me. Okay, may you be watered as you always water me. And thank you. And don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and then I will see you in the very next one. I'm going to perch in my corner and eat it. Bye.